Welcome back to the WatchTower Film Podcast, the film review podcast on the Towercast Network by cinephiles for cinephiles.
I'm ready to defile a cinephile.
You ready to defile a cinephile? I would, at the very least, thought you were going to say, I'm ready to defile a cinema. But, you know.
No. That's so filthy.
That's
and
weird.
Dirty. Yeah, but like a person, I would defile a person.
That's definitely
anyway,
true.
We're back.
I'm here with my black-shirted friends. And,
man, that was about to go.
Black shirts matter.
Oh, my God.
We black shirted.
I heard
workers.
it. I heard it, bro.
Represent.
We're back.
Power to the people.
We're back. You haven't felt this because our producers are awesome. But we haven't been here for a bit.
Yeah, last time oh my God. So I think we can say this that you know, the way the episodes come out, they come out once a week, which we've been really good at, you know, because of the amazing team. But we had a backlog before to kind of give us a little bit of like a squish in between, so that way, if like let's say, you know, like if one of us gets sick or something, we have like little wiggle room. Yeah. Well, for some reason, Wes Anderson Month has been the longest month that any of us.
Wes Anderson Month has been the longest 2 months of our lives.
Yeah, it's been like 2 months. Like we recorded the first episode of Wes Anderson Month like last, May.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we probably recorded in like May.
End of May.
Yeah. And like it's just
early May.
Yeah. And we're like, oh, we have 2 episodes ahead. We'll probably finish everything like maybe early to mid June. And then I went on a trip. We missed an episode, and like even the last episode, we got together yesterday and watched it. And then all these random things kept happening. Where then like. Shout
out to we also had some visitors. Shout out to Kevin Ford and Eller Coltrane.
That was the main reason.
They came by to say hi at the studio, and Kevin actually is our new subscriber. He subscribed while he was here.
No way.
It's like, I'm not subscribed. How am I not subscribed? I was like, dude, subscribe.
Legendary documentary guy.
So yeah, Kev, shout out to Kevin Eller. They came and pay us a visit. So again, just a ton of things were like bubbling up. We're like, okay,
but it was cool. It's just
it's
great. We had to watch the film yesterday. It's still relatively fresh.
Yeah.
In the craniums.
Definitely.
For what it is,
Wow. All right. Here we go.
For me, that was kind of hard.
And to kind of cap in on West, I got this new book.
You did get a new book. I love this book. It's really cool.
Even Alan like
flex it to the people.
Well, I don't want to like
ruin the set.
Okay.
Wow.
This is
it's
mine.
like that new trend,
like
right? That new trend. Like, this is my cinematographer. He's going to show you his new book. Say nice things.
Pay attention.
Hi, I'm his cinema.
Wow, that's such an awesome book, dude. I love it.
Yeah, look at it.
Blue
hey, did you bring one for the rest of the class?
When you open it up, it's got pictures of
Wow.
my favorite person. Look, his name's Wes,
Wow.
and he makes movies
And I
about
have a tattoo
There's a guy in there.
and I got a stamp. It's so fun.
No, that's not a
By the way,
snap
my favorite thing about this thing is, like, again, we've already did the Asteroid City episode. Go check it out. We did it during our Oscars. Like, it was our Oscar snub episode.
Oscar snub.
But my favorite thing about this, if you've seen this film, it's like naturally the alien is coming down to visit, and that's what's setting this whole thing off. And it's like the people, the play, and you turn it around, and it's behind the stage. You know, it's so fucking
so
cool.
cool.
I
It's
love this so
behind
much.
the
It's
scenes.
such a great detail because those are the two faces of this film, is like in front of the stage, on the stage, and then behind the stage. It's the greatest thing ever. I love it.
And I mean, we'll talk about our like end cap episode to West Month, but I feel like
Thank God.
I'm with you,
thanks,
homie.
buddy. Jeez.
Fincher wasn't any better, buddy.
Felt that, bro.
Damn.
Shit sunk in.
Fincher wasn't any better.
How are we gonna feel about Scorsese?
Hey, tell
man?
him something. Beat him up.
After the episode.
Do the Denzel. You guys ever see Jamie Foxx try to impersonate Denzel Washington? It's the best thing in the world. He does it in front of him, which is the best thing ever.
Oh yeah, and Denzel is just like cracking.
He's
up.
cracking the fuck up.
Dude, imagine that reaction from that man. That guy's a legend.
I'm leaving here with something. I'm from around the way.
We all felt that.
The long way.
Here to introduce everybody, we have Mr. Michael DeLao. Fellow
Excited.
cinematography perspective.
I've just had the best month.
Wes Anderson connoisseur.
Yeah, it's been such a good month. You know what? I needed this. You know, like I got sober. Like I visited my family.
Had been a while.
I'm off crack.
Good.
Yeah,
But
it's been
you're
a
on
real
meth.
problem. Yeah. I'm trying meth next month. Yeah.
Hey, there you go. They call it Nolan.
Mr. Jean-Eric Castro. giving us an acting perspective.
And probably the Wes Anderson hater in this group, I guess.
I know.
Come
You've
on,
been
do
falling
the-
in
I
love with
don't
him.
dislike him, but I don't like him.
Come on,
Yeah.
do the acting thing. Do the thing.
Hey, cry.
I really do think Denzel.
Wah.
Mr. Austin Young, make sure we're sounding good on the
Nah,
ones
this
and
guy.
twos.
Nah, this guy right here,
There's
bro.
that guy right there.
It's
That guy.
Austin from Boston.
Bump, bump.
And Austin is joined once again by our fellow producer, Eric
Louis.
Nunez.
Nah, I'm a little
CK.
50-50
Eric
on this
Louis
guy.
C. CK Nunez.
CK
don't
Nunez,
know.
Louis. I'm not as funny as the
Something
guy.
about
I'm
his
more
hair,
stern.
I'm
No,
just not
and
feeling
you also look a lot more Jewish than he does, even though
Dude,
you're
he's
not.
got that-
Honestly, I
Eric-
wish I had the advantages of being Jewish because it seems like everyone in Hollywood is.
Yeah, all
Eric,
that is. There
Eric,
is.
Eric, do that thing. Do the thing. Produce.
He's got this dad vibe going on.
Do I really have a dad vibe?
You got the shorts and
You
the
got
shoes.
the dad shorts.
Yeah,
for
all right,
sure.
hold on.
sure.
Now I got to do a fit check. For
Yeah,
the team.
Phil check.
Fit check.
Just those mid-ankle socks.
Dang.
You know what's crazy?
Damn, is that all you back there?
A lot of people just deduce this
wagon.
to be like a thing because of money, but the reason Jews are in Hollywood is because of the war, and most of the studio heads. There's a great book called Empire of Their Own, and it talks about how like every single studio exec, 20th Century Fox, Warner Brothers, how they all came from Hungary, basically, and like
Wait, they were hungry?
they were hungry. They're very hungry. No, but they were leaving like what they thought was going to be this business oasis. You know, they were going to be in the States, and cinema, at least in America, was born in New York. So like a lot of them were in New York before they decided to go to LA because the government was taking over movie theaters, and there was a whole thing, and they started with Nickelodeons and setting up theaters. And everybody's like, how about we just go to the fucking desert? There's no rules out there. They can't control us out there. And they went to LA, and that's why the Jews ended up in Hollywood.
International waters.
Pretty great thing. But
Wow.
read that book. It's a great book, Empire of Their Own.
Have you seen the fucking, I forget which room it is, but it's in the Academy Museum where like it talks about like all the different Jewish fucking production companies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from the beginning all the way like MGM.
It might be the same room where the Oscars are, no?
It's on the same floor.
It's on the same floor.
But yeah, it's like its own little huddle room.
How
It was
fitting.
pretty cool.
Last time I went, they were still doing the Godfather exhibit, and that was like the big thing. Was like they literally set up the desk and the room.
That's
like
fucking
it was just pretty cool. It was really cool. I love that fucking place. Anyways,
I love Jewish people.
I'm your humble,
That's great.
the humblest of humbles.
No, you
absolute
can't do this.
humblest.
We put an end to it,
Yeah.
and you cannot tease
Yeah,
us like
this
that.
And then you don't have
This
a
is
haircut.
all
Although,
agree.
hey, he defended it in a very fair way, so you can blame him.
No, you can say it, but you can't entice us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm your humble film servant,
Yeah,
Carlos
you're
Andatore,
like-
offering a writer-director perspective.
Yeah.
You're like when our girlfriend says like, "Hey, I'm gonna go take a shower," and then doesn't.
What the fuck?
It just makes
No,
me
no, no,
mad.
no, no. It's when she tells you she's gonna go take a shower, but you're not getting a nookie. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you'll take a shower. That's fine, but your dick is just gonna be like small because it's cold and it's wet and like there's nothing going on. Like, nothing's
Sad.
gonna happen.
I've never had it, but I heard shower sex is a lot more awkward than you would think.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Just kinda
it
like,
is.
are you- are you
especially
established.
like
Would
if
think
it's
the
just
water
with the
would
homies,
lubricate shit.
then that's not good at all.
It does the water
Especially
does
when
not
it's by
lubricate.
yourself, dude. It's like the craziest fucking thing ever.
I cry every time.
Whacking
I
a
thought we
wall.
were here to talk about cinema.
Yeah, cinema.
Speaking of awkward squares.
we're finally finishing off our Wes Anderson on
Thank
tour
God.
month, and it's been 5 weeks, 5 episodes
Speaking
of
of
Wes
damp and
Anderson.
awkward.
Forever.
I had some people tell me today they screened the Darjeeling Limited one and got a real kick out of it. They got a great kick out of our conversation about the Royal Tenenbaums and stuff like that. So
Nice.
people have been watching, and we've been
Yeah.
getting a lot more comments
And
on
we
it. so
are
it's really cool.
insanely grateful for every single one of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And by the
Subscribe,
same token,
like,
we'd
I
really
love it.
love for everybody to like, subscribe, share, comment.
Absolutely.
Let us
Yeah.
know what you think about the podcast. Let us know what else you guys want us to
I'm
cover.
gonna put Michael on the feed right now, and I want you guys to know that when you're not liking, subscribing, and commenting, he
He gets
spends
sad.
every minute
Wham.
crying.
He'll find you.
You want that?
Wah.
You
Do you want that?
Yeah.
5 cents will say. Oh,
Look at me. I got nothing else going on.
Your camera's a bit overexposed. so
Look at how bright I am right now. Only you can stop forest fires. It's
Do we want to fix it?
yeah. Do the snap of the fingers and then the edit. It's gonna.
Yeah. Cut back to him. Snap.
whoa!
Dude, he's such a talented DP. Get that
That's
movie.
crazy.
Oh my god!
Crazy.
I'm probably not even in the same position. So
we're
Thank
here to
you,
wrap up
team.
our Wes Anderson month, and we're gonna talk about Wes's penultimate. Well, I don't know. I guess the shorts are his penultimate.
I mean, you
film.
got the Oscar for that.
We're here to
talk
wrap it and
about
tap it with
The
French,
French
Dispatch.
Dispatch.
Wrap it and
2021
tap it.
French
Wow.
Dispatch anthology film. Wes's continued love for anthologies is where this film comes from, and this is one of my top 5. I really love the
I'll
French
agree with you
Dispatch.
there, yeah.
I think it's a great
It's
film.
one of his good ones for sure.
It's one of his good ones.
He has good ones.
Wow,
That is not a banger.
wow.
Compared
But
to
we're here to discuss the French Dispatch to close this out. I do think it's a great piece of conversation because when it comes to like our auteur months, I think the Law kind of feels like this also. I don't know if you guys feel this way, but like the goal with each of the directors we're picking is yeah, buddy.
That's what we're doing.
That's the French Dispatch. You're right.
Just
Now
making
go,
sure.
Go run around.
it's got the zoomies.
Puppy.
It's got the film
Whack.
zoomies.
Whack.
But we feel like when it comes to covering the directors, it's not just about covering the hits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, in fact, it's the opposite of that to an extent.
Yeah.
It's to cover the ones that people may have missed and kind of just,
Well, here's the question. Now that we're finished with the month, do you guys feel like them more?
Honestly,
Respect them more, I guess?
I'll take that one. I feel like I got a bigger appreciation for Wes Anderson because every time I hear that name, I'm just kind of like, all right, it's the trendy director that's like in Hollywood. Fuck it, he's a good guy.
Yo,
Yeah.
mama's a
But
trendy director.
are
Get
his-
that word out of your mouth.
Well, I keep on thinking like, are his movies really all that? Because they're always
Yeah.
symmetrical, they're always quirky, they're a style. Sure.
Yes.
But going into every single one of these movies, 10, 15 minutes afterwards, that notion gets completely out of my head every single time because this guy, like, he knows filmmaking, he knows how to do it, he knows the art of it, and he honestly, in my opinion, he's actually a really good fucking director.
See, but you said something right there. You said you respect his work more. But does it entertain you? Like, is it worthy or is it just
Yeah.
like respect of like,
Yeah.
oh, he
I
does
think
Are
it
it's
you
good
not
both.
job?
entertained?
I have
Yeah.
to agree with CK. I think that
Because that's where I'm at.
what I picked up on my screenings lately with each film we've gone through is there's the twofold thing of like old West versus new West and
For
which
sure.
camp he belonged to. But
Definitely.
I also think aside from him being like entertaining and appealing to the masses, at the very least, if it isn't for the meme, you know what I mean? And I'm
Right.
using that facetiously. I'm using that like
Yeah, yeah,
surface
yeah.
level. Like if it appeals to the masses or a quote unquote cinephile, just on the surface level, I think I really have felt in our exploration of Wes that he is a fucking cinephile's filmmaker and a filmmaker's
Yeah.
filmmaker, and
Yeah.
he's not the cool dude. He's like Jacques Tati or Jacques Demy or like he's one of these dudes who belongs in different pantheon, but thankfully is also appealing to the masses in a really
agree. I
really
agree
kind
with
of
you there,
quirky niche
Like,
way.
He's a little weirdo.
I'm just going
He
to
is a
touch
little
on
weirdo.
something real quick. We were
Yes.
talking to a fellow filmmaker yesterday who we all know and love, Celine Dipp. Very talented.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Yeah.
shout out Dip.
Shout out Celine.
Shout out to Dipster.
out
But
the
she
Dipster.
was saying that she kind of got into filmmaking also similarly through Wes Anderson.
She, in fact, her exact words were, "Wes was my gateway drug."
Yeah,
Yeah.
the gateway drug into like cinema,
Yeah.
and what that means because it is a different experience. But when we were telling her about the our Wes month, what was really cool about that is that we said it's, or at least I said, it's not so much looking at like, oh, what's the best film, what's the worst film. Each film, like when you look at them as an auteur, you're looking at their exploration. And I think something that I've appreciated about Wes throughout all of his films is that now that I've seen like basically all of his filmography, it's understanding each one is this different exploration. And when you're looking into a certain theme or a certain feeling, I really enjoy the way that Wes tackles things, and
Yeah, and make no mistake. I think what a lot of people may hopefully they've realized or have come across on Wes. It does have his own universe. Wes has a universe. Like every single one of his films takes place in fictional worlds that he's created to an extent, but they're not so fictional that you can't relate to them. They're based on real places or real events or real people.
Have you
Wes
noticed that
universe.
they all have like the same color and the same font?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Wes font, dude. That's
That
like
Wes
a
font's
little
like-
quirky, the little no crying.
yeah,
It's
no,
like what
even in
Sean
like,
Baker does, right?
even in like the drawings and the art styles, and I mean that's magnified through French Dispatch. That very unique, simplistic New Yorker-esque art style, but you see it in like all of his films. And then
I love that it's also been like a Where's Waldo, like the
Yeah.
actors that are in his film, in a very good way. But it just comes to prove that people will do anything to be in a Wes film.
Yeah, have
like
you-
Saoirse Ronan being a prostitute that it's in the third act for 10 minutes maybe.
get
Have you
killed
seen
off.
that a lot
to
of
get
them,
killed off, yeah.
a lot of the reason why the production like design is able to be built is because a lot of the talent they take like high budget cuts
Right.
or a high like
they'll
they
they'll
take
get
pay
paid
cuts.
scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just literally just to be a part of a Wes film. That's pretty cool.
It's
Also-
great. It speaks volumes. It speaks
Yeah.
volumes for somebody like Saoirse Ronan or Adrian Brody or somebody that doesn't need to be there. They have a flourishing career, and most of the time are playing bit parts in a Wes film. But these bit parts are very important, and
Yeah.
they recognize that, and they recognize the importance of understanding that Wes Anderson films are going to live forever.
Look at Tom Hanks, dude, in the most recent one.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
Tom
sure.
Hanks.
No,
Yeah,
and
that one
then
looks pretty
Bryan
good.
Cranston.
once you get in, it's almost like if you work well with the cast and crew, I mean, you are a part of a family now. You're a part of
Yeah.
this universe where then you live on. I mean,
Something blew my mind while we're on the topic is Jason Reitman's role in French Dispatch is virtually non-existent.
Yeah.
but it's there.
Yeah, the
And
illustrator.
the illustrator, and he's the one that draws the Bill Murray kind of part at the end. But what I think is really interesting is I read that the blonde writer, she delivers a very important line at the end of the film. I think she says something to the effect of "We should all write it together" or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the obituary.
Yeah, the obituary. So the blonde girl, who again comes out in the beginning of the film when they're introducing the whole magazine, but she has one line in the film, and apparently Kate Winslet was lined up to play that role. Like she was signed on. She was gonna, Kate fucking Winslet was gonna have one line in a Wes Anderson film, but she was willing to do it, and that's my point. It's kind of a special thing. And
Do you know who that blonde girl is too?
she's a good actress. I've seen her in a few
Elizabeth
things.
Moss,
She's
dude.
Elizabeth Moss. Yeah.
She carried The Handmaid's Tale. She's
Yeah.
the lead in that one, and on top of that, she was one of the characters in Girl Interrupted too. She was the one that had like the face. All
That's where I
fucking
saw her.
melted and
Wait,
shit.
isn't she
I don't
also
remember
isn't she also one of the girls, the teacher in Asteroid City? Remember the girl who's the teacher?
No.
No, that's Hawk, Maya Hawk.
Maya Hawk.
That's Maya Hawk. Yeah. Uma Thurman's daughter.
Oh, okay.
Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke's
Well-
daughter.
The Thurman.
Just to get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Castro, we're wrapping up West Month. I know that this has been very interesting for you because the biggest thing you say is that all the actors' performances feel like
Elizabeth Moss.
like they've been held back.
Absolutely.
I think this is an anthology, so this is a lot of different stories. And then I was kind of trying to explain that because it's all like coming from the perspective of a writer capturing a real event, they're a little bit more animated. And I think you were agreeing that they felt a little more animated here.
For sure, a little bit more loose in their acting.
Yeah. What are you rating this one?
I'm gonna give it a solid 8.
8. Okay.
'Cause I think I got a little bit of better of an understanding of Wes's films.
Yeah.
And I'm still a little confused on the entertainment aspect of it. I think it's picturesque. Everything he does is nice and it's detailed. But I think where he puts detail on some stuff, he lacks on other in the areas. And one of them is like the emotional connection. I think like in this one where it's 3 stories in one, I feel like most of the characters, you're starting to go, in the journey, starting to write that journey, and then it literally gets cut to like another scene.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
I
it's
feel like
Celine Dipp said with French Dispatch, she said, do you feel like, was it French Dispatch or Asteroid City? I think it was Asteroid City.
Yeah.
She said, to your point, she's like, can you feel any emotional tangibility? Like, is
It
there...
doesn't
like-
get there. It
yeah.
doesn't get to its destination. I feel like it's telling you what to feel, but you're not feeling
Yeah.
it. It's
Her-
telling you what's happening. You're not given that little leeway where, all right, I'm gonna write this journey with this character. It just gets cut off.
I
It's like-
noticed in
I love the whole New Yorker thing. It's beautiful. I think it's really creative, but I
Yeah.
just can't get lost in the fantasy. I just can't get. It doesn't
Yeah.
give me the time to.
You know what? What I've noticed is there's a weird, I don't. It's not an obsession, but a fascination that Wes has with like, I forgot what the name of the person is, but the Aqua Explorer that Steve Zissou's based off of.
Yeah.
It was a French diver. But
Yeah,
a
actually.
lot of like his diagrams and everything, and this like very factual information on like, in the French Dispatch we see like how many snowflakes fall in this city, and like how many bodies are found a year.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about it is that all these random facts, all these random, like, very straight information on the environment you would think has no kind of like emotional tangibility.
Right.
But I think that's kind of where it shines. There's a moment in the first story, The Bike Rider, where he says like, oh, it's filled with all these people, and it's like hoodlums, and it's filled with
Old people.
church people and all that. And then the last people he describes like, and old people who have failed. And then it leaves a long pause there. But it's interesting because it's almost like all these facts don't just tell you the city; they tell you the emotions of everybody who lives there.
Yeah.
And
the key word is telling you. You're not feeling it.
I think the other thing that's very interesting is
And it
like,
works to the
I'm
New
sure
York
you guys feel this way too, because
Yeah.
I know the Lau does. When we're talking about kind of exercising our muscle outside of the film set, the Lau talks a lot about like in his process, it's like, just going to a park and seeing the trees and seeing the color and seeing how light shines through things and how things react to light. And that's kind of his process of like taking a picture on my phone and figuring out what I'm feeling about this picture.
Okay.
And I think that as a director, I love doing the exact same thing, but I love people watching. I love people watching, and it's almost like the thing that Jack Nicholson says in The Departed. He's like, you'll learn a lot by seeing people eat. And it's just saying like you'll learn a lot by seeing animals eat, basically. And I think that in a much more sweeter way, I think like humanity is fascinating, and to people watch is like how you see it. It may also just be affected by how you're feeling that day.
Right.
Like you see a couple kissing in the park, and if you're having a shitty day, you're gonna fucking hate them. But if you're having like a nice day and you've had a good day, it's like, oh, that's kind of sweet. They're probably on their first date or some shit.
Yeah.
You're people watching, and I think that whatever lenses that you tend to see people in ends up being your perspective on how you tell a story. And I think that what's beautiful about Wes's work, and I see it the most in The French Dispatch, is he's seeing what does, number one, this newspaper look like inside this old Kansas town.
Love it.
What does the French town of Ennui look like through my lens?
Right.
And if I could depict this land, if I could depict this world, it's like he even makes the rats in the subway look fascinating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think it's just like that's just a way Wes sees the world, at least if it's something that's fascinating to him. So he'll want to not only learn every detail and like obsess over the stats of this city, but he'll present it the way he thinks cinematically is going to appeal.
Yeah.
And I don't personally, I think that when a perspective is that strong, they don't need to tell you what to feel. He's painting a world for you, and
I'm saying telling through what you're
the
showing us.
voiceover.
Yeah.
I don't think it mattered. I think that shit's minutia. Like I think the voiceover is minutia. I think we're not that it's unimportant. It's important minutia. It's Wes building layers to make you be invested that he's pulling a magic trick. I think Wes is pulling a magic trick. I think he's saying, hey, this thing that's fictional, I need you to realize that it's not. So I'm gonna give you so much bullshit up front. It's almost like you're going to be watching the Discovery Channel for about 10 minutes of my films.
Yeah,
and then that way you
really
understand the world exists so that you can give a shit about the people that are in this world.
Yes.
And I think that's what he's really good at.
It's last thing I'll say, and then we can keep going with the
my
rating.
bad.
No, you're good.
With ratings?
But like when you look at what is it called? The Grand Budapest.
Okay, yeah.
That one, there's a lot of information up front, and you see that it's run down. You see that it's gone through multiple like renditions of owners and all that. But they give you all this forward information just to kind of almost like tell you like these are the rules everybody's gonna play in, and that's why I don't think it's so much. I was explaining this to Celine the other day because she was saying how she just feels that barrier that you can't place yourself. You can't imagine yourself there and you can't imagine the emotions. But it's almost like, and every film does this, they'll give you enough foreground to understand that this is the world that they're living in. These are the rules that they live in. And once you understand, I guess, kind of like how the imaginary box is, now let's watch the characters play.
Now the characters aren't so hard to believe.
That was the best part. That was the moment that really sold me on this movie, was how he was able to introduce that world. Like, of course, this is an anthology of like all these different news stories and stuff like that, but you still have to establish the rules of the world. And the way he did it was in the second story with Owen Wilson's character.
Oh, the first.
Okay, right before The Prisoner, where like he tells us
that's the first story.
Yeah.
Is that the first one?
Well,
Then
no,
I mean-
he's not technically wrong. He's introducing the magazine, which is its own story, and then you get into the
Yeah.
first
Oh,
article.
the
if you
first
will.
article.
Yeah,
Yeah. So first off, we're establishing the importance of why we're there, the French Dispatch. But then, what is the French Dispatch reporting on? The city. So it kind of throughout the whole entire time, when you're seeing all these different stories, you're thinking about the importance. Okay, we're here because of the city. We're here because of the people. We're here because that alleyway is where old people fail. That alleyway is where the punks are. That alley was once. Now it's a metro, but now it was once a butcher shop.
Yeah.
And that's a really, really, like, in my opinion, a really genius way to set up a world because it's still maintained within the story that's supposed to be told.
It's that
the
thing,
information
it's the final
thing-
shot of
the
Gangs of New
information
York,
that's set up
right?
is beautifully. I'm not
Yeah.
even questioning that. What I'm questioning is that the emotional connection that you're trying to get to with the characters, it
Yeah.
just doesn't fully develop for
Let
me.
me ask you something.
I feel
So,
like that's where
real
I
quick.
get entertained.
Well, hold on.
where
Before
I
we get into ratings, really quick, I just want to ask you something because I know
respect his work.
you're
Yeah.
wanting to explore this point. I want to ask you, hitting just quick bullet points. For instance, in the end of the painter's story or the end of the revolutionary story, that's where it hits me the most. That's my favorite of all of them. But let's stick to that one.
Okay.
The emotional. I was having this conversation with Celine yesterday too. The emotional weight that's being lifted off of like, hey kid, you're a kid, be a kid.
Yeah.
Like go make love. Quite literally, that's what she says. Like, hey,
That was
go
a
make
cool
love.
moment. That was a really cool moment.
And then there's this like almost dream sequence. I mean, they're on this bike and they're almost headed to the stars. They're tilted this way, and they're literally like under these sheets and like with beautiful lights all around them. And it's this. She's a virgin and she admits that, and it's this beautiful experience. And you feel the weight being lifted of like the pressures of war and being a revolutionary and being a chess genius and her trying to give her points across and fight for women's rights and it's just like, hey,
Showing me all that.
how about you just like fucking be cool and be at peace and make love? That emotional texture cinematically makes me feel all the joy in the world for these people, especially after being in the mustard region and how this friend,
My goodness.
was
whole
affected in the
sequence.
mustard region and that whole story and then also like the Harold and Maude aspect of Francis McDormand's character and his character being like seeing each other in a really
and-
weird way.
And they're both getting together not because of love. It's more this like she's experiencing a true loneliness,
Yeah.
and with him, he just wants to be seen as this.
He's got a chip on his shoulder. This sophisticated.
He wants to be seen as like
yeah.
an adult.
Yeah.
That's going to be a revolutionary martyr and all this kind of stuff.
So that being said, and for that emotional context of go make love, quote unquote, I'll just keep calling it that.
Yeah.
And by the time he gets to the tower and his fate is ultimately sealed,
Yeah.
you feel that. You feel the law. You feel like, son of a bitch, we led up to this. And he got what he wanted originally, but he also got the go make love aspect. He got his innocence back.
Right.
There's this concept that's been really kind of like, I've been talking to my brother about it lately because we're both creative, but we both have completely different creative perspectives. Like I'm more of a structure. I feel like there's two kinds of creatives. There's the logistical structured creative, and then there's the chaotic creative. A chaotic creative is somebody that's very much like Jean-Michel Basquiat, who like, I'm going to wake up. I don't give a fuck about anything else except for creating, and I need to release all these emotions within me.
Nice.
But a logistical creative is somebody that's very much like directors, honestly, a lot of directors such as Fincher, where every single detail is paid attention to, because I feel like regarding the emotion, a lot of the times you could go into a project that's like full handheld emotional gritty and stuff like that, but sometimes it's the ones that strip away all the emotion that really tell you more about being human than the emotion. Because I feel like emotion is like the biggest currency about being a human. You know, everyone that's selling
For
a
sure.
dollar,
Ooh.
they're really buying
That's
a fucking
deep.
emotion, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
That being said, does any of that, I know you say like, yeah, he's telling you to feel this, but in those moments, he's not. Like you either pick that up or you don't. Like
I guess I
also-
never reached the destination.
You
I just-
never- you never
I
feel
never
I'll
do.
also say
It's just
yeah. Go ahead.
I just feel like that's why he isn't as big of a star as Steven Spielberg is.
Yeah.
Right, because he's
Absolutely.
got an
No, it's
interest for a
fair.
certain- for a
Oh, it's
certain-
fair.
but
He's-
I guess I
he's-
fall into that category. I
Yeah.
respect his work.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how it works for, not for cinema, for a film. I can
Yeah.
see a play working, absolutely. And I know I'm a broken
yes.
record.
I completely agree,
And-
dude.
But
I don't know
first-
why he hasn't done plays yet. Like,
But
what
for
the
a film,
fuck?
I'm still
we were talking about
understanding
this,
it.
right? We were talking about this during the screening. Like, You think somebody like in Broadway was like, "Fuck off, kid, go make a film"?
Yeah, and he's like, fine, I'll make a movie with a play in it.
It's like,
Crying.
That's
No,
definitely-
but
Honestly, John Eric, I do agree with you. Like to some degree, I do agree with you that like
I'm not
sometimes he can be a
knocking the
little
guy
too
at
logistical.
all.
But
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Like
no, it's
sometimes-
not. It's fair. It's not. It's just not
'Cause
pulling
I
at your
feel like
heartstrings.
if he's watching this, I definitely want to work with you. I don't want to. I don't want to
No,
seem
no,
like
it's fair. Like he's not pulling at your heartstrings the way you want your heartstrings to be
Also,
pulled.
Yeah.
like you said,
certain
he's a-
aspects it does, but the why I got into it were the acting and the entertainment part of it. I just don't see that part. I see the whole production value of it. I do. I really do. But a whole month of of Wes, I've learned to respect them, but I just haven't gotten
yeah.
to.
I like you were saying, he's a cinephiles like.
And see, even that gets me
filmmaker.
kind of like a little bit upset because I feel like
No, and
You know-
we're not saying that as
No,
a.
no, not on the slot, not on the
It's
bad
not
thing.
a like, oh, the smart people get them and the dumb
Yeah.
people don't.
No, no,
what it
no.
is
No,
is
no,
that
but it just-
if you like making movies, watching his stuff is really hard to palate. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
that.
there's
like I was showing a lot of these films to like my family because I love Wes Anderson, and a lot of times I'll show it, and like I remember French Dispatch, like my family was like, yeah, we're not owning that one. We're not gonna keep that one at home
let me
because
what was their
up,
reason though? What was
because
see if I'm
like
in
you
the
said,
same realm? Okay.
yeah, they couldn't connect to it, and with
Yeah.
me, they were like, "What are you liking about it?" I'm like, I just want to watch it again because there were parts that one I just felt like it was too much to process, but I didn't find that as a bad thing. I found it as a good thing because I like rewatching movies, and I like that each time I'm looking at different aspects. And then like now I like looking at the aspects of like, oh man, how did he do that? Like there is
And I'm with you there.
a mystery,
I'm there
and I
too.
think that's my enjoyment from him is the fact that I'm gonna be served maybe something that's too complicated on the first viewing, but it's gonna be great for later on. When I think a lot of people,
I love that.
if you don't have a good punch at the beginning, you're not feeling like I want to come
big
back.
enough, a
you
big
know.
enough punch to want to make you return.
Yeah, because there's some
yeah.
movies that like my family and other people have seen that they remember the first time they watched it, and
Right.
because of that moment, they'll keep coming back.
That's Spielberg.
Yeah.
That's Spielberg. Like you remember how
Jurassic
nice
Park.
Jurassic Park make you
E.T.,
feel.
yeah,
how
absolutely.
E.T. Like you know how that made you feel off the hit. Now let me toss this out there for all those like How I Met Your Mother fans. I'm a How I Met Your Mother fan. I love How I Met Your Mother.
Who doesn't?
There's an episode, and oddly enough, it cameos fucking Peter Bogdanovich, which is amazing. But there's an episode where like, Ted, he's an architect, and he's like, he loves poetry, and he loves books, and he loves films, and he loves high society. And his other friends aren't really about that life. His other friends like just like other random dumb shit. They like hanging out at the bar. They don't want, they don't want to be in rooms. And I think neither are wrong, right? But the whole point of the episode is like Ted gets invited to this high society party.
No, he doesn't get
Well,
invited.
he gets like invited in once he's there. And his friends are like, okay, it's an open bar. We'll stay for 10 minutes and then we'll fuck off because they have tickets to this thing called Robots versus Wrestlers. And that's what they're looking forward to at the end of the
It's their
night.
annual tradition.
It's
an
robots
annual
versus wrestlers,
that's a good
But Ted's like bumps into the editor of the New York Times, and he bumps into Peter Bogdanovich, and he bumps like Peter Bogdanovich is playing Peter Bogdanovich, and he bumps into like opera singers, and like so he gets to have a conversation and read fucking the Dante's Inferno recited in its original Latin,
yeah.
and his friends make fart noises while he does that. So like it's that dichotomy too of like, yeah, I love my friends and I love just goofing around, but I also like having this, and I relate to that so much. Like I like hanging around and goofing off, but also like getting into deep, invigorating conversations about cinema or society or art or life, and I think that's kind of the point. I think Wes, if he's not appealing to the high society, he's making commentary about it. But he's certainly not appealing to the robots versus wrestlers of the world, which in and of itself bring joy to people.
and that's why
I'm with you. I'm with you.
That's why things like the Phoenician scheme, which I still don't, I don't know if it's 100% palatable because my family did go with us to the premiere,
Right.
or the screening that we saw, and at that one, like I remember they were just like, yeah, it's not great, it's okay, like I
Easier
kinda
to follow, not
Yeah.
any more palatable.
Yeah, not any more palatable. But there's other ones. Like they saw Asteroid City, and because I think Asteroid City had a fun balance,
Sure.
and just really cool imagery, they like that one a lot.
Is your family like, stop trying to make Wes Anderson cool, Lalo? He's never gonna be cool, nerd. And then they kick you and walk away.
Yeah. A
So,
lot.
okay, talking about this film.
Naruto run away.
Go ahead. Yeah, one
So
question,
talking
and
about
then
the
we're going to
fr-
ratings.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, that's true.
Let's do ratings.
Yeah,
Let's do
do ratings.
Okay.
Do ratings.
Me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I love The French Dispatch. I'd put this at a 9.
Wrong.
Easy.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
You're wrong.
Easy 9. I'll give this one comment so we can kind of do
Yeah,
a
yeah.
rapid fire. But I think in this film, more than anything, I've really accepted Wes Anderson's bravery.
Yep.
It's already brave as a director to adapt the style and put the style out that he knows isn't going to appeal to the masses, but it'll appeal to it'll appeal to the people he wants it to appeal to.
I see what you're saying.
But I think the bravery also comes from him finding. It's very hard for a director to want to give you the results of something, because filmmakers have taught us to like play with twists and appreciate the lead ups and appreciate this.
Just say it.
Wes will front load shit. Wes will tell you, hey, this character you love, by the way, they die when they're 80. Anyways, and then continue to tell you the story. And it's so brave to put. He does it multiple times in this film. He does it multiple times in every film. I've picked up on that in the past few films. It's so hard to reveal your like what you have like saved, right?
Your
It's
ace
so
in the
hard
pocket,
to
yeah.
pull out the rabbit out of the hat.
Right.
Like when you know you have the rabbit in the hat, you feel safe. You feel like, I got the rabbit in the hat, dude. Don't even worry about it. Wait till they get to the third act. The rabbit's in the hat.
That's dope.
Wes
Yeah,
will say, here's the rabbit. I'm killing that rabbit. This rabbit's right here too. Like he'll front load on the most important details to say, hey, it's not important. What's important is what you feel through this journey. So pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Forget about like he says something to the effect of like Frances McDormand's characters, like, yeah, she lived a happy life and she died. And again, these characters that you're so invested in being like, oh, so we don't get to see the end of their story. So you're just telling me the end of their story to show me the bigger picture, which is the French Dispatch.
I
Yeah,
love
that's great.
that.
That's great.
In Asteroid Cities, like
Yeah.
like where at the very beginning they'll tell you like, hey, so that last line you're gonna still leave that in the play, and then you like when you first watch a movie you don't know what they're talking about,
Yeah.
but when you watch it again, now that it's this retrospective, you're
Yeah.
like, oh my god, they're saying everything at the beginning in this
Yeah.
really unique way
Yeah.
that all ties itself together. But yeah,
A director, and I've never read a Wes screenplay. I'm much more interested in doing so, because if he does this in his scripts where he's just like, the reader wants to be engaged, right? The reader wants Spielberg to reveal that there's a T-Rex at the end of the film.
Exactly.
If Wes won't do
He's-
that. Wes
yeah,
will
yeah.
say, here, it's there. Don't worry about that. That's not what's important here. What's important is you can't wake up if you don't go to sleep. Like
it's different.
It's so crazy, man. And French Dispatch, again, just I guess this whole retrospective is giving me a lot more appreciation for just his bravery to
Yeah,
not play by those rules.
I will say this.
I'll
I'm
go with
gonna
that.
I'm gonna side with John Eric on this one. Not because it's my own personal taste or anything, just because it's like, honestly, just so you have another fighter in the corner.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you, sir.
But one thing that I will say is, I completely agree with you. Like, I completely agree with both of you guys.
Jesus,
When
man.
it comes down
Not
to-
even 2 seconds on my side.
damn.
Fucking rude. He ran to the other corner, bro.
No, all right. Well,
Hey, bro, I got your back.
The words came out of his
Yeah, I
mouth.
got you, bro.
I got your back, but he's kicking your ass like
Right now? Right now?
Damn, you got fucked up, bro.
But next week I'm behind you.
But next week, bro.
No, but so I do agree with you guys
Jeez,
on that
immediately.
topic. But going back to what John Eric was going like regarding feeling, sometimes the best part about the rabbit is a lot of great filmmakers like Spielberg, they know how to build it up to reveal
Absolutely.
it properly. Like, I think the cost
What
of
does properly even mean, though? And that's
there is a
Well,
structure.
fuck that. Yeah,
Unfortunately,
that is true.
going back into like there's a 70s structure to go into proper like 3-act structure,
Right,
checkups
okay.
and all that kind of
Hero's journey.
Hero's
Yeah.
journey, da. And that's what all those older guys were studying.
In a manner that is
But-
correct.
Hold on, let me see if I can bring that up on the. This
Real
is
quick,
properly.
CK.
But my bad. Right before you chime in, I do agree that Wes Anderson is brave as fuck for killing the rabbit, showing the rabbit, killing it, throwing it away. But the cost of that is
Yeah.
losing the emotional impact. That
You lose it. And that's my argument with French Dispatch. French Dispatch is, some people will call it a long walk for a short drink of water, but I think the drink of water is eternal if you realize, like, in the French Dispatch, the drink of water is these writers writing pieces that they didn't know were going to be the last ones for this magazine, for the fate of this magazine, and still having so much emotional weight in each of these stories to close out the magazine. More importantly, The Eternal Water is having to write collectively the obituary of the man they revered so much who opened this world to them.
You see, that's the thing is,
That's
I
the
had
emotion.
I had a lot more emotional weight regarding the obituary for a character who I didn't really see on screen as much.
But that's the
But
point.
going
That
down-
character,
but compared
he
to-
is the French
Yeah,
Dispatch.
exactly. But comparing that to the characters that we have seen over and over, like
Right.
Chalamet's death, honestly, that one didn't really hit me too much. but
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then
I'm also
people love
working on
him.
some emotional
His
stuff. you know?
parents in the car. What the hell's the matter
you
with you,
heartless?
Seeker? Are you dead inside?
Do you not have a heart?
It
Is
just-
this the moment that we get vulnerable? Guys?
The parents in the car. And then the line is like, and his parents are in a car in a silent taxi.
What's wrong with
because
you?
they can't speak because they know their fucking son is dead. Whoa.
Who
No,
hurt you?
no, on their way to identify the now cold son, or identify like the body of the cold
They
son.
ride in a silent taxi ride or something like that. But the
Yeah.
word silent to me does something. It's like, what are they gonna say? Their kid's dead.
I don't know. The only thing about that
DK.
is, I guess,
What's
I
your
was
rating? What's
very
your rating?
Quentin Tarantino right there.
on a personal end, I've seen films that are like more emotionally challenged, like heavier
Yeah,
and
name
stuff
10.
like that.
Yo, Mama's emotionally challenging.
dude.
What's your rating?
Moonlight
yo,
alone. Moonlight
that's a
alone.
big swing,
You
bro.
just lost so much credibility.
You and
there.
Moonlight.
Moonlight, bro.
You and fucking
Have you
Moonlight.
guys
If
not
you love
seen the
Moonlight so
fucking
much, go
movie?
marry it.
Dude,
Hey,
I
hey,
want
hey,
to.
hey.
I would love
Rating.
I love La La Land, but
Yeah,
Moonlight,
yeah.
come on.
I
bro.
need a rating out of you.
All right. Honest rating?
Yeah. No.
9.5. I'm not going to lie.
9.5.
Wait, I gave
Yeah,
nine.
you
I
really
gave
like that
nine.
one. You
9.5.
really
Did you
9.5.
give a rating?
A solid 8.
Solid 8.
Yeah, solid.
Austin
From Boston.
Hey, bud.
from Boston.
From
All
Boston.
right, take a knee.
Take a knee.
All right, all right.
Taking it.
It's hard. I got the microphone in the way and everything.
Take a knee.
You're going to have to.
You love me, right?
Yeah.
What's taking it?
Just hit him. Just double barrel him.
I'm already sitting down.
All the pressure is on you right now.
I just really want him to know what my rating is.
Okay.
What's the
I'm going to
rating?
give you a part of it first. And see if you can guess the second part of
He's,
it.
he's gonna have to
We're
add
already
it up
40
or what?
minutes in.
All right, the first part I'm going to give you is a 0.2. Can you guess the rest of it?
It's a 9.
2.
Hold on.
I'm thinking an 8.
9.2?
9.2.
It's a 9.2? Fuck yeah.
Fuck
yeah.
You're
This-
the only
honestly,
eight.
Then
this
why
is a
did
big
it
one.
win an Oscar? Why isn't it respected?
Because he doesn't,
Why?
dude. I'm convinced. I've
Why
told you
didn't your
guys this
mama
on.
win
I've
an
told you guys
Oscar?
this on
Ooh,
Asteroid
she's
City.
not an entertainer.
I told you guys this. I think the only Oscar
don't like
that
it.
Wes has, it's because of Netflix, not because of Wes.
Then
I
what
don't
about
think
my
Wes
bad?
gives a shit. I don't think Wes
Now he doesn't.
admits.
Dude, look at
Everybody gives a
PTA.
shit, bro.
No.
Everybody
Look at
gives a
PTA.
shit.
He drops fucking bangers
why
left
we
and
do
right.
this.
But I mean, sometimes
I
guess cinephiles
genuinely
don't give a
think
fuck
there's
about it.
directors who don't submit into the Oscar. You have to submit.
Well,
You
after
have
a cou-
to apply
well,
for an
after-
Oscar.
Well,
There is
after
a
a
lot
couple
of
of
strikes
declines,
going
I mean, they're gonna stop.
Like, he didn't even go up to accept the short because
Yeah.
he was working on the Phoenician.
on the
Nah,
Phoenician
I feel like Wes is one of those guys that's like, oh, for a short, come on.
No. I think, again, for studios, it's a big thing to get Oscars and say that Art Studio has so many awards and accolades behind it. But for a filmmaker, that's where they can kind of decide. And
Right.
some films are made like what is it called? Empire of Light, the one that Sean. It's not Sean Baker.
Steven Spielberg.
I've never heard that.
No,
I know
no.
what you're talking about.
The one who did 1917.
Yeah. Sam Mendes.
Sam Mendes. That Sam
Sam
Mendes worked
Fuck
with.
that guy.
That was quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he worked with Deacons, and it was supposed to be this big film, but you could tell that his only care was, I'm gonna get an award-winning cinematographer and have
Yeah.
this like big script, and it's supposed to be,
It's just one film with no story.
yeah, it's supposed to be about
Damn.
cinema,
Right.
and you know,
Nobody gave a shit. Not even filmmakers.
yeah, no, and it's
No, you have two filmmakers here who like it.
What?
You-
No. You're talking about 1917.
Oh.
He's talking about the new one.
Empire of Light.
Empire
yeah.
of Light.
That it got Oscar.
Yeah. It got a Golden
noms.
Globe nod, I think. I
Yeah,
think it's as far as it went.
But yeah, it didn't.
But
go
hold
on.
on. To Castro's point,
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah, going
Filmmakers
back.
give a shit.
Yeah.
Filmmakers give a shit. The only problem is, I hope, and it's very variously hypocritical because even my hero feels a different way. But I think Wes Anderson has reached a point where you start to revere cinema so much that you realize how toxic something like Oscar campaigning is. One,
yeah, but you-
A,
Yeah.
B,
But you still need money.
no money. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he needs a studio behind it.
But he still gets his films funded, bro. He doesn't give a shit. Like he is at a point in his career where he doesn't need to.
No,
This
yeah.
film was a $25 million film and it still got made. And my point with that is
25 million.
25 million. And my point with that is that Wes Anderson reveres cinema so much that, for instance, as an example, right, in the toxicity of Oscars and American culture when it comes to awards, and I think that's why I would assume, I don't know if Phoenician Scheme did premiere at Cannes, right? I think it premiered out of competition, but it premiered at Cannes.
we gotta
7-minute
vibe check
ovation.
that.
7-minute ovation. French Dispatch got 9. Just
Oh.
FYI.
Damn.
I think a Palme d'Or will forever mean more to somebody like Wes Anderson
Yes, dude.
than
Fuck
an
yeah.
Oscar.
Dude, being on the Criterion channel
sure.
is
Yes,
a lot more
being
important
top
than
of
a
the
fucking
Having
Oscar.
a Criterion box set will mean more to Wes Anderson
shit-
than an Oscar.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
oh my god, the Michael Hennig box set. Come on.
And this is the only example I'll give of that I think that me being a Satyajit Ray fan is, and knowing that Wes Anderson loves Satyajit Ray got an honorary Oscar in his deathbed.
Damn.
That's how far it went. That's how long they waited to honor someone like
No, I'm not saying
Satyajit
that
Ray.
they do it the right way, but I'm saying like
Charlie
everybody wants the
Chaplin
hardware.
only got an
It just
honorary
means
Oscar at
your
the end of
peers
his
respect
career.
you.
Dude,
Like,
Stanley Kubrick never got an Oscar in
Yeah.
his career, and that's our fucking Lord and Savior, dude. That's the guy that
And don't get me wrong, dude.
What are
invented
you,
cinema.
high?
I'd love an
I
Oscar.
fucking
Look, I'm
You
about
kidding
the
me?
ring culture, you know.
Yeah, I'd love an Oscar. You kidding me? But I do feel like I hope to become a director, and that's what I'm chasing. I'm chasing being able to be in the room with people who revere cinema so much
Yeah, oh yeah.
that a Criterion treatment means more
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
a fucking Oscar.
Imagine
By the
if,
way,
like-
Phoenician,
I'm with you. I just-
Phoenician was in contention. It was nominated for the Palme d'Or.
It was nominated, and Honora
Bam.
won. Honora won the Palme
No,
d'Or.
that was last year, fool.
No.
So then what won Phoenician?
Phoenician
no,
is
it
this
was the
year.
same year.
No,
No,
yeah.
Phoenician
No,
just came
Phoenician
out.
came out.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but Phoenician
This
and
year, this
Honora.
year.
Oh, what was it this year then? What won the
Oh,
Palme
it
d'Or?
was a.
It was another
fucking-
neon film,
It was.
right?
It was a film by an Iranian director. This guy is like, he's a fucking badass. Like this
For
guy's
this
been
year?
in jail.
I thought it was the
It
neon.
was just
oh.
an accident.
Yeah, it was just an accident.
Okay.
No.
I want to. No,
Yeah.
no,
Wait,
no,
no,
that's the
that's-
wrong one. No, no,
no,
no.
no,
That's
no, you're
that's-
thinking of a
yeah.
doc.
Yeah, no. That's
no.
This one's a fucking.
You're thinking of a doc, CK. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
This film was the new Neon film
Jafar Panahi.
because Neon has the record right now for Palme d'Ors.
Oh really?
Yeah, Neon Films has the record for Palme d'Ors, like the last 4 or 5 years.
I'm telling you, Neon's
It is from Iran.
Neon's being A24.
Yeah,
man.
look into the director because that guy apparently he's a fucking bop. Like that guy, he got like fucking shit happening left and right to
Yeah,
him.
yeah, I
and
remember
like
this.
he's been arrested.
Yeah, to the point
and
where like
everything.
crew members of his were representing him at the Oscars or at
Oh really?
at somewhere because he couldn't go because he was in prison. And
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
You got
like
that ankle
like,
monitor.
Damn.
Gotta go to the
Huh?
Oscars,
This
baby.
wasn't neon.
This wasn't Neon.
Yeah, this is. I think.
Then
This
what am I
is,
thinking of?
Jafar Panahi.
Taxi, Three Faces, Offside. Anyways,
No Bears.
9-3.
That's also on Criterion.
9-3. 9-3.
Yep.
It's top 3 for me.
How to elaborate?
How do I?
Top 3. What
how
are your
do I
top
have
3?
a higher
Okay, look,
rating?
look.
Oh,
I feel
no.
like we already heard everything you like. What don't you?
Wait.
Hold
Austin
on.
was about to
Let's
speak.
talk about
Wait.
let's talk about the top 3s.
Wait.
We've seen Wes Anderson films for the month.
Yeah, yeah.
What are our new top 3 Wes Anderson
Austin?
films?
Boston.
Subaquatic.
Boss.
Life Aquatic.
I always say subaquatic.
You say subaquatic?
Yeah.
Aquatic.
Life
Ah,
Aquatic,
damn, I'm-
Asteroid City, French Dispatch.
Wow.
Rock
Okay.
and roll.
Okay.
Fire roll.
CK.
This Grand Slam was supposed to come with
Budapest, French Dispatch.
Isle of Dogs.
No, honestly, I had to read. I had
got
to
hate for
look
that
back
for
into
yesterday.
Asteroid City.
Is it because
and
Celine
honestly,
made fun
Asteroid
of
City
you
is a
for
banger.
liking Isle of Dogs?
Man, yeah, that's exactly why.
Yeah,
And right here.
she's done that.
Yeah, she just bullies people. Just kidding.
Mine is Asteroid City, Royal Tenenbaums, and Bottle Rocket.
Bottle Rock. I love Bottle Rock.
Yeah, just that's how I got introduced.
Carlos,
I've been wanting to see this film, dude. The
Life of Chuck.
Mr. Bingus.
Oh shit!
It's
yeah.
Head's favorite director, Mike Flanagan. But it's different, man. There's a different film.
That's a funny name.
I'll
Mike Flanagan.
say this. I think for me it's Budapest, Asteroid City, and it's a toss up, but I'm gonna say Darjeeling. It's between Darjeeling and French Dispatch.
Yeah, Darjeeling, I forgot about that.
I this last
Probably
time
fourth
watching
for me.
Darjeeling has really like spiked it up for me, but it's Darjeeling or French Dispatch. But Budapest, Asteroid City, one of those two.
I'll say this: French Dispatch was the most stylistic that I liked from his.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah. For me, it's gonna be Asteroid City,
Yeah.
Darjeeling Limited, and then his the latest anthology, the one that he did.
Sugar,
Henry
Henry Sugar.
Yeah, the incredible story of Henry Sugar.
It's a bunch of his new stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, I think the neon thing I'm confusing is Best Picture winners. It might be Best Picture winners.
Yeah, I just feel like for an anthology, he just knocked it out of the park. Again, if you guys have the chance to see Henry Sugar, that one for an anthology and for him just going over these stories that have like so much weight and punch to them. And for being so simple, like, I don't know, it's like I got the book and I want to read it, but like it's funny because you look at the Henry Sugar book, the one by Roald Dahl, and it's like a children's book. So you're like looking at this thing, you're like,
it's not what Wes is turning it into.
Yeah, it's like, how did you build all this up? And I remember looking at the featurettes for Fantastic Mr. Fox, and him saying that the story for Fantastic Mr. Fox ended around the point that he gets his tail blown off.
Like, Austin, what I meant is like it holds like the last 5 years, like continuously the last 5 years. Neon has broken some record. I don't know if it's Best Pictures or Cannes or something.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
He blows his tail off.
Yeah, like somewhere around there. Like the novel for Fantastic Mr. Fox doesn't elaborate too far ahead, but he adds a lot more texture to it, and then makes it this whole internal struggle with like, what's your purpose supposed to be, and nature versus like responsibility. And
you know how we've been saying that Wes Anderson has mommy issues.
Yeah,
I was having a conversation with a coworker today, and I really feel that the reality is he has daddy issues. Like, he has hardcore daddy issues. Tenenbaums, about a father figure. Fucking Fantastic Mr. Fox, about a father figure. Like, there's these key, strong male figures.
Oh yeah,
that were
even
constantly
like
following.
Darjeeling Limited.
Limited.
The fact that the father was the only like parent that was really taking care of them.
Yes.
And then after he leaves, they can't depend on mom because mom's always like doing her own thing
French
and never wants to
Dispatch.
handle him.
Bill Murray's character.
Does this imply that Wes
Fucking-
Anderson is going through a masculinity crisis?
He's been probably.
Wow.
And he has
been?
kids. So like maybe he's just as a father starting to processing that thing, you know.
Oh,
Dude.
Neon did buy the film that one.
I got two-part
They
question.
did buy it was just an accident.
The Palme d'Or.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you see, like the
It was just
last
an
5 Palme d'Ors have been Neon releases.
Dude, Neon, that's the new A24.
Yeah.
And I really hope that they don't go down the path of A24. But they
Why?
did.
Exactly.
Why?
I'm with
Why?
them.
Why is
All right.
everybody complaining
It's
about
It's
A24?
A24. They, like, I hate
they-
to say it this way. Don't get me wrong.
You
The
hate that
project.
they're successful now.
No,
They're
no,
successful,
it's
don't get me wrong,
indie
yeah.
fucking.
It used
No,
to be
but
when
that's
you
the
saw A24, it'd be like, okay, that's worth a watch. Now you got like
Yeah,
Death of a Unicorn.
No,
Fuck you. We've had this argument.
What is
Death
that?
of a Unicorn's good.
Look at
A24.
Look at A24 before everybody was talking about them,
Right.
and they were just producing films that they believed in.
Dude, they
that,
weren't even
like-
producing. They were straight up a distribution
Distributing,
company.
yeah.
They didn't do
See,
a touch producing.
But I mean, that's the thing. Like, I feel like when you look at a lot of their earlier stuff, you look at them and it's just like, what is all this?
It's
But
kind of
I
ass.
have respect for the fact that they're willing to offer distribution.
Nah, look at
and,
their
like,
early movies, like Waves and fucking even Spring Breakers was decent.
Yeah,
and
they
that's,
did
that's
Tusk.
the one. Yeah,
they
that's
did
the one I think.
Tusk.
Spring Breakers was not better than fucking Death of a Unicorn, bro.
No, but it's what got him there.
I haven't seen Death of a
It's
Unicorn.
style.
It's
I like.
alright.
I like it.
But do you really like James Franco and fucking Spring Breakers?
Just because he's trying to mimic what's that rapper? I'm big on him.
fucking,
Riz or no?
No,
Riz
it's-
Ahmed.
Riff Raff.
Who's Riff Raff?
Dude, you haven't
He's
seen
the
that
one
video
that
where
they
he's
stole
like,
the character
I'm gonna
from.
blow up and not tell anybody. Ha, ha, ha.
Put Riff Raff?
They got like the
What
fucking
the fuck
shark
is a
teeth.
Riff
You
Raff?
gotta pull
No.
up. You
I
gotta
He's the
pull up
one that
Riff
they
Raff,
stole the
dude.
character. He even sued him.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking
This was
hilarious.
like the golden age of Franco too, man. He was producing some good shit.
Dude, have you read his book?
Look at this guy.
He's straight. I don't know if we should
Look
cut
at that
this stuff
mullet,
out,
baby.
but he straight up fucking like admits to rape and shit like that.
Yeah, well, he got accused. He got canceled. That was all, like Seth Rogen was like, "I'll never work with
yeah.
that piece of shit again."
Yeah,
Dude, apparently Alan read his book, and the whole entire time he was just like, "That guy is saying way too much in this book."
That bro took it like that. Bro was sleeping with the bed shitter. What's her name?
Oh, fucking Amber Heard.
Yeah.
Damn. Anyway, here's Riff Raff.
The Papa Squad in the
Yeah,
bed.
so
I don't know Riff Raff. I don't
past
know.
five, Carlos.
Uh-huh.
The past 5 Palme d'Or, and it was just an accident. Nora, Anatomy of a Fall, Triangle of Sadness, and Titania.
Dude,
all
Triangle of
fucking
Sadness.
neons.
Oh, have you guys seen Triangle of Sadness?
Oh,
we
fuck
did
yeah.
it
for our Oscar.
We did a
Sadness.
That shit was. You know the model in that one. She passed away like a
She
year
did.
later.
Yeah.
Is that the one she drowned?
Yeah,
No?
she drowned in. I think she either drowned. Yeah, she drowned in real life. I think.
I thought it was like a suicide or something more
I
tragic.
think probably
The actor, the male model, he did something recently where he
Harris
caught
Dickinson. He was a baby girl.
Baby Girl. He was in Baby Girl. That
And
film was terrible.
Recently, and
Kidman?
soon
It
he's
was
gonna
horrible.
play. He's gonna be in the biopic for the Beatles.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, that film was terrible.
They're doing a biopic.
Oh,
Baby Girl was very bad.
The model died of bacterial sepsis.
Oh, shit.
damn.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's like Jim
Sucks.
Henson.
Jim Henson died of sepsis?
Like he had. Oh my god. I just recently found out how Jim Henson died, and it was the saddest thing. Okay, we didn't do this segment earlier, but I just watched Saturday Night.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
Terrific
But
fucking banger.
I got a big kick out of the whole Jim Henson thing. Like they're
Oh.
not. Can you please tell everybody that they're not puppets or actors? And like I just loved it, and I was like, oh man, Jim Henson's great. And
That Disney Plus documentary is really good.
yeah, and then
With Jim
I
Henson.
found out that apparently, like towards the end, Jim was going to be doing this big deal with Disney, and he was going on tour, and he was trying to like get everything together. And his family said that the stress and everything just got him like worked out of shape. And he says, "I think I just got a cold, but I got to power through." And they were like, "That's just Jim." He just like said, "Oh no, I'm going to keep pushing forward," and his cold turned into he just was really slowing down.
Pneumonia or something.
And he had like a bacterial infection, but he just never treated it. So then one day he just like went up to like his daughters, and he just kept telling everybody like, I think I'm just tired. And he's like, I think I'm gonna die. And then he like started coughing up blood, and then like very shortly after, like a day later, then he like waved bye to his family, and then he just like died.
Whoa.
It was really sad, but everybody's like, oh, I'm pretty sure it was just all the stress
Yeah.
from the deal, and he just didn't go to the doctor.
That actor that played him in
He was like
Saturday
50.
Night was terrific.
He also did
Succession. He's a
Andy Kaufman.
fucking.
He did do Andy Kaufman. That's right. He
He did
played both
both.
in the
That's
film.
so
He
fun.
was
Yeah.
terrific.
The
And that
whole-
actor has done some indies that I've seen. Like he was like a teenage actor and shit like that. He's a good actor. He's a really
Dude,
good actor.
you guys have to see Succession. He's like one of
Succession.
the. He's like this. He plays this kid that's like nepoed into the family business, but he has like, he's put in between. Do I make the heaviest decisions? But he's like the biggest pussy in it. It's kind of hilarious.
What?
Yeah.
A pussy making
Anyway,
big decisions.
Yeah.
Bringing it back to the French
Yeah,
Dispatch.
before we wrap up.
Well, no, I think that as far as the French Dispatch goes, you're right. I think we're all saying very different things, but there's no negating that this film is fucking terrific.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah,
highly
honestly, yeah.
stylistic, but has a lot to say.
The New Yorker,
but also
I love that.
But also touches on different subjects in very, very, very unique ways. And again, man, like I don't know. I could be wrong, Castro. And Dalal brought this up at the beginning of the podcast, and I don't think he really touched on it. You cannot deny the emotionality of these performances. Their performances were
But
phenomenal.
it requires extra watching.
It does.
I think
It does.
I think the more you watch it, you're like, oh, okay, I already saw all the paint and color and everything
Yeah.
like that. I already saw that. So then now, like, I mean, on these later watches, and
Yeah.
you tell me if you
Oh,
agree.
absolutely.
Now I can really look at the characters.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
something even like Benicio, like I was really struck with like.
I really like this
dude.
character.
Yeah, I
for
was
sure.
struck by him. I was struck by
the chick from the guard.
And
Dude,
Glorious
yeah,
Bastard.
Blue is the one. Leia Sado.
Blue is the warmest color. She was
She's a
terrific.
fucking.
She also was a
talented
Bond,
actress,
Bond girl, right?
You were telling me
Maybe.
that. I don't think I've
Yeah,
ever
yeah,
seen her in
she-
that.
She was
Skyfall.
she was the love interest for Daniel Craig's Bond.
Skyfall or
Okay.
Yeah.
But like her, the chick, Timothy Chalamet, was terrific in this. Fucking
Honestly, yeah.
Jeffrey Wright, right?
Jeffrey Wright.
Oh yeah,
was
American
great, too.
Fiction.
Jeffrey Wright, I feel like every time I've seen him in a Wes film, he just impresses the hell out of me
He
because
shines.
Wes will give him like the toughest monologues or like these
Yeah,
longest, most intricate,
Definitely.
every single detail and bit, and
I,
you see him play it perfect.
I
Nails it, nails
like especially loved Frances McDormand's character, and she was like talk about range, man. Talk about that woman acting like. I mean,
3 Billboards.
she
Was
threw 3 billboards. By the way, she had done Nomadland, the one she won the Oscar for.
Yeah.
And then came and did the French Dispatch. Like she wrapped Nomadland and then jumped on a plane to do French Dispatch.
Wow.
And oh man, her character is just terrific. I thought.
Quick
she was
question: Who inspired Wes, and who's somebody similar to Wes?
Everybody inspired Wes.
great. Yeah.
But I mean, he
No,
has
no,
to
but-
have that one guy.
No,
that he just
that's
tried
the
to
thing.
mimic.
That's the thing. If you look at Wes, like he's talked about it
Per
like,
film, it's almost like who am I really
Yeah.
keen in on for a film? Darjeeling was Sayaji Ray. French Dispatch, Jacques
I
Tati.
have heard you guys talking about
Yeah,
that.
so-
That's
so-
insane. That's insane.
Yeah, so and Wes will post a list of like when
Can
films
you-
are coming out.
Can you Google Jacques
Oh, I
Tati
love
stills
this.
and
and
he'll
post them
say
over here?
these are my references.
For this new one that I got
Yeah,
coming up.
and it,
Oh,
sometimes
that's cool. That's cool.
That's
I-
the only similarity Wes and I have as directors. Like,
Like,
it's per
I-
film.
I
you know?
think as Wes goes on, we'll start to see him not only do like French directors, but I think he'll want to explore like other types of directors because there was even one. This latest one I felt like was super
Phoenician
inspired from
Scheme.
like Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
When you look at Citizen Kane,
Look,
Orson Welles.
This is Jacques Tati's.
Put this on the podcast. Eh?
Yeah, this is Jacques Tati's kind of filmography. This is what inspired or what he drew from references of for French Dispatch. Look at this. Look at this room with these people, right?
Oh yeah.
You know
oh,
what I mean?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
Jacques Tati's filmmaking and a French filmmaker who was very whimsical and very playful, but also had a lot to say.
Yeah.
And this is Wes drew massive inspiration for French Dispatch from Jacques Tati
so
films.
you can look at like his references, and those will be really complementary to
Yeah.
like when you look at the rest of his stuff. Like,
I think I need to do that.
yeah, but that's cool because I also think that's why he's like a filmmaker's filmmaker because when you watch a Wes film, you love it and want to see more of it. And Wes is like, well, look at where it came from. Look at like the originals. Like something he talked about with Isle of Dogs, because I was interesting. I never heard this argument before, but I was listening to NPR. They were doing a retrospective on Isle of Dogs.
Nice.
And they were like, despite the controversy, I think there's something more to be talked about with the film. And I had never heard anybody complain about it. But they were saying that some people worry that Wes was making a stereotype film, that it was just using a bunch of Japanese stereotypes and the way that they live and talk and certain things. And then they apparently people confronted him about it, saying like, hey, do you feel like there's some kind of inherent racism in what you're doing? Because this isn't real Japan, and this isn't like this isn't the real 1950s Japan. And he's like, of course it isn't. It's a movie. Like it's about like a trash city that the dogs all got shipped on. And he's like, if anything, this is mimicking a 1950s Japan if you were only exposed to cinema of that era. Because then when you look at like the art style and compositions, the colors,
Think a
and
lot
the
about the
palettes.
characters of the director of the Kill film that we saw with Chuck.
Oh, yeah.
License to Kill. Or what
License
it's
to
called?
Kill.
Branded.
Branded to Kill.
Branded to
Think
Kill.
about Branded to Kill's
Yeah.
kind of approach
Yeah, if-
versus Isle of Dogs.
If you look at those films and then look at Isle of Dogs, then you're like, oh, I can see where it's coming from. And there, I forgot the references that Wes had for that one, but that's what it is. I mean, it's not just like those films aren't meant to be a reflection of like actual France or actual like Japan or
right.
anything. They're
Not
a
in the slightest.
reflection of
What
the
we've seen.
filmmakers that were making films
During that
garnered towards that time
I like that.
or that region. So yeah, that's why Wes's new films, even though like I think you were even saying like, oh, is Wes like from France? And it's like, no, he's a Texas filmmaker.
No, that's Eric. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, hey, so where is he from? Not like Sanchez. Eric
Yeah,
Sanchez.
it was like-
where's he from? He's like, he's a Texas boy, bro. He's like, what the fuck? I
Yeah,
was like,
he
yeah,
just
he's from Houston.
He just sources
Matt
so
Luke
many
and
But
films.
he's not allowed back in the States.
But
right?
that's beautiful. That's such a beautiful thing that, yeah, he's not allowed back in the States.
What-
What is he,
like-
Chaplin?
No, I thought that's why he hangs out with Polanski, no?
Wow.
He hangs out with
Damn.
Polanski.
No.
Wow.
But no, that's what I love about cinema. And we'll close this out with the sentiment, I think. Like, that's what I love about cinema is you could be a boy from Texas, fucking, and people think because of how much cinema you've been exposed to and how much cinema you allow to influence your work and the worlds you want to explore. It's like I told you guys about Darjeeling. He'd never been to India when he wrote Darjeeling, and it didn't matter.
Yeah,
he
because-
created even a fictional world within the
that
Darjeeling
is-
Limited.
that is
It's
special.
it's really special thing.
And-
That's how impactful cinema is. That it shows you other worlds in mediums that books, photography, other situations just can't.
Yeah.
Is there any other director that's kind of close to him right now, like kind of doing the same thing?
Stylistically,
Yeah.
I mean, there's people that are heavily influenced by him, but
yeah.
nobody can do Wes like Wes.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, like-
stylistically, I mean, I honestly,
Who's somebody that you kind of...
Yorgos.
Yorgos Lanthimos.
Yorgos,
Yeah, because I
yeah.
feel like Yorgos.
He's like
if
a
you-
dark Wes Anderson.
Yeah, like he's like a dark
Oh,
Wes
yeah.
Anderson because
I'm into that.
it's the way he builds his sets and composition, and I noticed it like obviously through Poor Things.
Yeah.
Like when you look at Poor Things
Sure.
and the characters and the environment they're in isn't real, but he explains enough of the rules, and then after that, you can immerse yourself in what's going on.
Yorgos is like if Wes and Tim Burton had a baby.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm digging that.
Because
Yeah,
I watched
honestly,
like
yeah.
The Lobster, and The Lobster was the same way. It's these
Love it.
unique compositions that are all framed up perfectly
Yeah.
that can speak volumes.
Have you seen
Lobster 824?
Dogtooth?
Dogtooth, not yet.
Dude, you guys would really fuck with
No.
Dogtooth. It is wicked.
I've never even
It's
heard of it.
weird.
It's wicked.
It's wicked
It's
smart.
wicked.
The concept is
Somebody-
basically
Sequel?
like
Wicked?
there's a family with like a mom, dad, 3 kids. 3 kids. 2 of them are girls. 1 of them's a guy.
Spoilers.
And long story short, the kids haven't left the house ever in their whole entire life, and they're already like 23, 24 years old,
Okay.
and they've
Like
never left the
agoraphobic.
property. Yeah.
Wow.
And then this is like the story that there's a world
There's
outside
a
of our
world out
house.
there. Oh, that's interesting.
It's really
That's
cool.
great.
It's really
Yeah, Yorgos is a great comparison. I'd agree
I love
with
that. Yeah,
sentiment.
I needed
Somebody
that.
said Noah Baumbach.
I need that.
Oh no, Baumbach early. I was
Nope.
gonna say
Yeah.
David O. Russell early films like I Heart Huckabees.
I've heard of him.
I Heart Huckabees is very closely, I think, inspired by Wes, but not
Dialogue wise, who do you feel like compares? Woody Allen or
I'm sure Wes was inspired
Honestly,
by Woody Allen.
Noah
but-
Baumbach on that one.
Yeah,
too.
Noah Baumbach
for
was
dialogue?
would be a good one.
He's got some fucking.
I wouldn't
divorce
put Woody
films.
as a dialogue film. Would you?
Yeah, I think it's backwards. I think Wes was inspired by Woody Allen.
right.
If anything, but I think I would compare Wes's
Funniest.
dialogue to more French filmmakers.
Honestly, he has the same dialogue as like early Charlie Chaplin.
There's a film that I just screened. This might bridge into a Castro's segment for us to end the podcast,
Or
but
do we want to say that for the next episode?
no, we're already here.
What happened?
We got like so much. We're gonna blue ball the audience, man. Like we have watched so many films in 3 weeks.
True.
No, but I saw a film by Ingmar Bergman called Fanny and Alexander, and I think
the
I've
color.
never even heard of these.
yeah.
The color, the red room.
Where is it on Fango that I can see these?
Criterion.
Oh, okay.
Criterion channel.
What the hell is Fango?
It's
Fandango.
when I see which ones are like the new on demand.
Oh no! Fanny and Alexander. The dialogue in Fanny and Alexander is very. The first act is very witty, very quick paced, very like proper and
I like Woody.
cuts off and stuff like that, and that's very Wes Anderson-y. But I think French filmmakers are like the best thing to compare Wes Anderson to dialogue
French
wise.
filmmakers.
Because French people speak witty, but they also speak very like technically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I
they-
think French cinema is the best comparison to Wes Anderson cinema.
Anything else we need to know about Wes? Because we're finishing Wes.
We're
Wes Month.
glad that it's over.
Go
Yeah.
watch the French
Now,
Dispatch.
what's something
Yeah.
else? I mean, I guess.
something I found out kind of recently that adds to like the control in his style is that after doing a Fantastic Mr. Fox, he fell in love with animation and the fact that you have control. But one of the fundamentals.
This film had non-stop motion animation.
Did you catch it? It was the background on Owens when he was on the subway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
No,
yeah,
but not just
yeah.
that, but the whole sequence at the end, the robbery and the car
gunshot.
chase, all
Whenever
of that.
and also when they shot the walls, like
Yeah.
they were shooting and you could see
Yeah.
the walls crumbling.
All
Oh,
of
really?
that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He apparently there was a whole lore thing of like, in order for Wes to qualify for the French tax incentives, he had to hire 40% of his crew to be French.
Yeah, yeah.
So 900 extras were French on the crew.
Smart.
And like local, because they shot in this small French town. But he hired a French animation studio to do these animated sequences for him, but they were properly animated. It wasn't like what he was used to, which is stop motion animation at the time.
I was gonna say the animation that he uses, like one of the things that I learned recently from like Zach, and also in like little videos talking about like animation stylings.
Shout out to Zach.
Is that
Shout out.
animation is done in like Zach was mentioning for our last time that we had him on that they're either animated in 4s or in
This
3s.
is false.
Like
He,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he declined
this is
it.
false. Oh.
He declined it.
what's
There
false?
was speculation that French Dispatch was a musical. The day he started shooting, Wes Anderson was like,
Oh, I
"Not a
did hear
musical.
this. I think I
See
read
you in
about this.
6 months. Like it's not going to be a musical. I
Low key,
promise
I'm
you."
not gonna lie. Wes Anderson would fucking
He-
kill
dude.
a musical.
I'm with
He
you
would
on that.
fucking murder that.
Yeah, it'd be like the Red
Well,
Shoes meets
now
fucking
that I think
La
about
La
it a
Land or
little bit
something,
longer-
dude. Like, yeah, Wes Anderson would be make such an interesting musical.
That guy.
Animation.
Oh,
But
just
a
that-
musical, you need to like jacked him.
Dude, no, like
Dude, it's just the sets, 'cause
I'm messing
the
around.
sets and the
I
color.
want
He's
you
got it
guys
locked.
to see again, if you haven't already, Henry Sugar and the way that the stage and
Yeah.
just the
Oh,
screen moves.
oof.
It's insane. It's absolutely
It's on
gorgeous.
Netflix right now.
That's
Yeah.
why I tell you guys, like, French filmmakers for me are the most related to Wes, like
Yes.
Jacques Tati. Not
Yes.
just Jacques Tati, but Jacques Demy. Jacques Demy in musicals
yeah.
and how he presents musicals is I feel Wes would navigate to, like,
Yeah.
or gravitate to rather, is to make a French musical like Jacques Demy.
Dude, those French people know how to make fucking movies.
I mean,
dude.
they invented
Jesus
cinema. I would
Christ.
hope
Those
so.
French people are some weird
The
stuff.
equivalent that Mexicans are to soccer, that's what French are to movies.
I have one here.
You're about
This
to
one's a
piss a
French
lot of
one.
people off.
This one's a Frenchie.
There you go.
I think that's racist.
I think it is.
Is that?
What? Pancake?
No, this idiot. One time we're hanging recently. He's like, "What did you say that that cinema is full of baguettes or something?"
Oh, it's because we just did the UTEP class, and I was like, yeah, I was telling them kids that good cinema it requires baguettes or baguettes.
Whatever you say.
Yeah, eat baguette cinema.
And he's like, "Or what do you say?" And I'm like, "It's good cinema begets good cinema." He's
Yeah,
like, right.
Yeah,
baguettes.
baguettes.
yeah,
French
you
bread.
baguette.
Yeah,
Got it.
and we love this idea of all those students just getting a bunch of baguettes and being like, I don't feel like I'm any closer to
I'm
filmmaking.
not.
What's
I
going
got
on?
8 baguettes
Yeah.
from Albertsons.
Am I getting
Am
close?
I-
It's like,
am I-
nah.
Am I locked in yet?
Carlos has way more baguettes than you'll ever know, you know?
Can we? Do you guys want to talk really quick
Wait.
about any latest
Animation.
films? Oh, right, animation.
Let me finish,
Yeah,
please.
go ahead.
Portuguese.
No, actually,
on.
no, never.
Damn it.
never.
Okay. I'll say this real quick.
Yeah.
Animation is done in beats, and each beat, there's so many frames that are actually like drawn. So, like,
yeah.
if you want to chop your animation, you'll do it in like fours or basically like in
Right,
threes.
right.
So every second will have like 3 frames or something like that. The math is, I don't understand it all, but all I know is that the more beats you add into a character's motion, the smoother it is.
Right.
The less beats, the more blocky it is. In
Well, like South Park, no beats,
Exactly.
no beats at all.
yeah, and in Wes's films, like after making Fantastic Mr. Fox, he fell in love with that style, like that the amount of beats. So I don't know
Sure.
what that is exactly, the correct number, but whenever you watch any animation that's a stop motion done from Wes, he has his own style that he's now created or like coined
That's
for
fascinating.
certain beats. So
Oh, that's
that's
cool.
why his stop motion is gonna look completely different than like any
Guillermo
other stop
Toro's
motion
or
you
whoever.
watch.
Yeah.
Because-
definitely noticed.
There's a very specific amount that he wants
Sure.
characters to move and be animated in. So that's why
cool.
even like when you watch his latest films or you watch like the little inserts that he has of like, let's say an animated thing happening or in the Henry Sugar short, the rat moves.
Right.
And the rat is animated at the same beats as Fantastic Mr. Fox is.
Got it.
Animated in the same beats that the wall crumbles in the background. So yeah,
Very
that's
cool.
just a little bonus that he's that specific about.
Right.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Even-
I love that.
Yeah.
Go watch The French Dispatch. Go watch more Wes Anderson
Absolutely.
cinema. Let us know what you think and what
Yes.
your favorite
Your
your
thoughts.
favorite, not French, but a Wes Anderson film and or films are.
Favorite part of
Yeah.
the French Dispatch? There are like multiple stories. Everybody has a favorite.
I keep
Don't just
saying
say
that.
Timothy Chalamet.
No,
Come
no,
on, come
I
on.
There
love
is a
that
right
story.
answer,
I
and
think
it's
that
the artist.
Nah, it's the
Yeah.
cookie.
the artist is phenomenal. But no, I think French Dispatch is collectively terrific. But
Yeah.
I still love the
That's the wrong
Timothy.
title.
What?
Oh,
you're right.
Carlos told us
And he's, yeah, this
the
is
correct
the-
title.
The French Dispatch.
definitely
You
a
have
Wes
to
The
Anderson.
French
read it. You have to
Dispatch of
zoom
the
in.
Liberty,
The French
Kansas Evening
Dispatch,
Sun.
yeah. The French Dispatch of the Liberty, Kansas Evening Sun. That's the actual title of this film.
Wes will
less
drop
than
kick your
Wes will
fucking
find
jaw.
you and kill you. If you don't. Oh no, honestly, I was, and I sent it to you guys. I don't know if you guys got to check it out, but I was highly like recommended to watch the Wes Anderson interview with GQ that he did recently.
Oh, you did
you
send
guys
it.
should watch it.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
terrific out there.
The
If you guys-
What is it like?
Perspective on
He
all
gives
of
us-
Yeah,
Oh,
he,
okay,
he
okay.
just goes through each film
Yeah,
and
you did
shit.
tell us
It's-
that.
and that's where I found out where he's like, the official title of the French Dispatch is actually
Typical Wes.
So yeah. Anyways, thank you for tuning in for Wes Anderson Month. Real quickly,
On a tour.
anything new?
What did I watch? You know what? I watched the Presents. I just remember.
I think you told me about this.
Oh,
we
was
did?
it the fucking Steven Soderbergh movie?
Is it the
about
Lucy-
the ghost where like
yeah,
the
the Lucy
POV?
Liu?
Yeah.
I just remember. I just thought of Carlos because it has a bunch of wonders, but they get like disorienting. It's like no. This
Well,
does
they
not
don't
work.
feel
that's
attention
that's
or
the whole point.
I just didn't
You're-
like it.
The whole movie is supposed to be like you're the ghost watching the family that you're haunting.
Isn't
So
that
I
like
wanna-
a ghost story?
Yeah, I want to get your perspective.
Kind of,
if
but
it's just-
imagine if it's all like POV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets overwhelming a little bit. I don't know.
That's interesting.
I saw
I
the
dig
new
it.
F1 movie.
Oh yeah,
You
we
did.
saw F1.
Oh, you guys.
F1 is a
a.
fucking banger.
F1 was terrific.
Yeah, you
That
guys.
shit-
I
It
gotta
was
watch
pretty
that.
good, and
Chad Pitt.
I was shocked how much
Brad
I liked
Pitt.
it. It's actually pretty good. It's actually
Dude,
pretty good.
Why? Because it didn't have Martin Scorsese.
No,
dialogue.
it's just like
It
because
didn't have
like
the
look, my
Warner.
cousin pointed it out too. Bones was like, "Well, we all know how Carlos feels about sports films, so he's not
Yeah.
gonna like it."
Damn.
Stinky.
And I don't know, man. It was a different kind of
Bro.
formula. No,
Have
no
you
pun
ever
intended.
seen? Have you ever seen Remember the Titans? with
No, I
Denzel?
haven't actually.
That'll change your mind on
Yeah,
sports
Remember
movies.
the
Dude.
Titans.
Ryan Gosling is in
I was
it.
telling
all
Nah,
Gosling-
that.
Ryan
I-
Gosling's
I-
a liability at corner, bro.
I was telling Castro, oh, they
I
dropped
grew
the
up-
new Ryan
Liability
Gosling
corner,
trailer
yeah.
tonight.
Yeah, what-
Yesterday, today, I mean, they dropped a new Ryan Gosling trailer of him like
Oh,
full
I
ass
did
beard
see
and shit
that.
like that.
Which one is it?
Is he
Um,
playing MLK?
I think he's playing like an astronaut or something.
Wow.
No.
Have you seen those memes? Ryan Gosling is
But anyway,
Martin
let's-
Luther King.
let's-
Jr.
I've seen those.
He's Black
Presents. I
Project Hail Mary.
told you guys I saw Fanny
Yeah, it's an
Alexander.
astronaut one. Project Hail Mary is what
Project Hail Mary.
it's an Amazon movie.
Oh,
Hail Mary.
Yeah, I saw Fanny Alexander. I saw the making of Fanny Alexander, which is a whole other film too.
Hell yeah.
I feel like I caught up on The Bear.
Yeah.
Love
Squid
The
Game?
Bear
Fucking.
and Squid Game. I caught up on Squid Game.
I haven't, so don't.
Did you finish it?
No.
Hey,
I still
you
got
know
two
that one
episodes
part
left.
where the guy just.
I know your tricks.
So the law.
Hello, did you touch my ass?
You get my ass.
It's physically impossible for me to touch your
Yes.
No, get tricks, do it.
I saw Saturday night. That was probably the most like in between the last episode and this one. But I saw it and oh my god, like
Terrific.
I forgot who we were telling. Oh, it was Sanchez that he was like, I've seen it, but I don't feel like I need to watch it. But that one got me so interested in it. And then I remember,
And you don't come like you haven't watched like Saturday Night Live.
No, I
your whole
have.
life.
Yeah.
Dude,
no.
Did you do what I did? Did you go back and rewatch the first episode?
yeah,
I did that.
dude, that was the best feeling because
Yeah.
like I had always seen Saturday Night, but I've only seen the recent stuff. I'd never like gone back and looked
Okay,
at a
yeah.
lot of the
But that's good,
originals.
that's good that you
So it was really interesting to see like Chevy Chase, but as not the big star, but the kind of like up and comer,
Yeah.
and everybody's in that weird space.
John
and
Belushi.
yeah, and I love how everybody's just questioning like, well, why are we here? What
shit's
is
gonna
this?
fail.
And yeah,
Gary Cooper, man. Gary Cooper's kind of the first thing out of Licorice Pizza, and I thought he did
Yeah.
terrific.
oh my goodness,
Who's
yeah.
the one that plays Lauren?
The other guy.
He was
He's
the,
pretty
he
good.
was,
he
he
was
was
the
the
kid
kid
from,
in Fablemans.
Yeah, he was.
Fablemans.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was pretty good.
Yeah, he was
I'll say
pretty good.
this.
He carried it.
Jason Reitman can do no wrong, eh? Like,
Yeah.
Jason Reitman's just
Hey, did you tell him
fucking
I liked it?
awesome. I'll tell him. I did tell him. When I screened it at the theater, I sent him a message. I was
Don't you
like,
be lying,
Saturday
Craig.
night was terrific. No, I did.
Oh,
I
nice.
actually
Tell him
did talk to him
Did you
about
tell
it.
him that
shit.
I liked it?
I did.
He
No,
didn't.
but
He didn't.
B, I screened it at the movie theaters, and I bumped into our AD to Emmaus. And Emmaus was like, we didn't see each other until after the film. We were like, what did you think? He's like, dude. And he had a friend with him. He's like, I was just telling my friend here, you want to know what a film set looks like? That's what it feels and looks like.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
basically what it is.
That's what I
I
loved
watched
about
it. I watched it with like my parents,
Yeah.
and it was so funny every time like things would go wrong, and then they were like, "Is that what you do?" And I'm like, "Well, hopefully not always
Right,
wrong, but
right.
like I was like." I really enjoy the hustle and the bustle, and you feel that sometimes.
Absolutely.
In between setups,
Yeah.
we know what that looks like.
what it has
Every
going
crew
on.
member is just kind of getting their thing done, and it's like, okay, let's go for rehearsal and just see
Yeah,
what happens.
yeah.
Like
It's terrific.
Just winging it.
It
There's
was-
a lot of great.
who's the guy who played
I'm trying to think.
the
guy-
Harry Met Sally guy?
Oh, Billy Crystal?
Yeah, Billy
The
Crystal.
one that gets bumped
Yeah.
and fired ultimately.
Oh my
I
god.
don't know. I remember the actor who plays him, but
No, my favorite part is like if you're waiting for a comeback, you can look at the back of your mother's teeth.
Yo, that was crazy.
What's the guy? The Maze
Oh
Runner guy?
no.
the main what?
Maze Runner guy? What's his name?
Oh, Logan, not Logan Lerman.
Oh,
What the
Jake
hell's-
Paul.
No,
Kidding.
I know who you're talking about.
No, yeah, he's pretty good too.
Yeah, he did good.
Like I
He
liked
did
him in
good.
other films.
The whole ensemble was,
Yeah, it was
like
great.
Yeah, yeah,
knocked
exactly.
it out of the park.
Terrific.
Exactly.
I think my favorite
Um,
joke from it, because I know you guys kept like saying like the back of your mother's teeth. That one was good.
I liked it. I never heard
J.K.
that
Simmons was
before.
good. I
Which one?
J.K. Simmons, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
J.K.
Yeah.
Simmons'
He was good.
toupee was terrible. It was funny.
My favorite joke was when they're doing the first like the news report one, and that whole
With
joke
Chevy
of
Chase.
like, oh, did you hear that they're going to make a stamp for prostitution. Like they're going to commemorate prostitution. It's going to be a 25-cent stamp, but if you want to look at it, it's going to be 50 cents. Like that one killed me.
By the way, like
That's what
that
God-
moment
Yeah.
leading up to like Lauren is not gonna do Weekend Update, fucking
yeah.
Chevy Chases. Such a great fucking lead up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I'm surprised you haven't mentioned Willem Dafoe.
Oh,
You
oh my
especially.
Oh,
God.
wow.
You know what? It was.
Was that
I-
Christoph Waltz?
It's amazing how much the weight they put on the William Dafoe
Yeah.
character to be like, even if I try to stop you, you got to go
You
against
gotta
that.
go and
And then at
fucking-
the very end, it's like, are we going live or are we going to take? And then it was like, okay, go for it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Oh my god!
Yeah, I love it. I love
So
it.
yeah,
Dude, yeah.
watching Saturday night, and then afterwards, like I watched the Belushi skit, the one at the very beginning where
Not the Bumblebee one. The
language
the room
coach.
when they're in the room.
Yeah, the language coach, and he has a heart attack, and then Belushi just falls over.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, okay, like
Yeah,
Live from New York Saturday night. Like though, everything about it. Watching the originals, it just
that's
it
great.
killed. Yeah.
Anything,
Yeah,
guys? You guys
absolutely.
watched that notable?
Fucking, I was watching, I didn't get to finish it, but I watched Paths of Glory before I came here today.
Uh-huh.
Kubrick's Paths of Glory.
Yes, sir.
How does that happen
Kirk
and you don't
Douglas
finish
is
it?
pretty fucking good. Honestly, time crunch.
Yeah,
pretty
Kubrick's
much.
Douglas. I love Kirk
You're
Douglas.
a poser.
Dude, I put my
And
phone
then
on
also,
silent.
if you guys have too, Sideways with Paul Giamatti, dude.
I fucking love
Yo,
that film,
dude.
dude.
I've heard of
I
it.
watched
It's
it for the first time
fucking
this
good.
year,
Alexander
and I'm
Payne.
not the
Alexander
biggest
Payne.
Alexander
Is-
Payne fan.
What year
I'm
is
just
this?
not.
Sideways
It's
the
2011,
wine
2012.
one?
Yes.
2011.
You need to watch it.
Dude, it's
Yeah,
so.
I
Speaking
watched
of
it.
You
speaking
watch
of
it?
writing,
Oh,
it's
dude,
fucking
it's
I had to-
amazing. It's so good.
I had
It's
to
so
watch
good.
it for my I think it was film theory class, either film
wow.
theory or script writing, and we're looking at the dialogue. That whole monologue with
Terrific.
him. I think he's talking to a girl, but it's explaining a wine and it's explaining him, and I love
the
that.
porch.
that phone call when he's
Yeah.
on the call, and when he's on the phone, like trying to get a hold of her, leaving her a message and stuff like that. But oh my gosh, dude.
The two-sentence summary of what it's about.
Sideways.
Yeah.
So long story short, it's about this guy. His friend is getting married, but the friend is kind of like a piece of shit. So the friend is like this jock dude, like, dude, I'm getting married. Please take me out. I need to go get fucked up and fuck another girl at least one time before I commit my whole entire life to this
What an
girl.
idiot.
Yeah,
But the guy that like Paul Giamatti's the friend, not the guy that's getting married.
No,
Paul
the
Giamatti's
Recently
the friend.
divorced,
Recently
fucking
divorced.
English teacher.
Yeah.
Like
He's this fucking class act, like a very standard guy, but he has massive struggles with women.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't know how to talk to a girl to save his life, but he meets a girl who equally loves wine as much as he does. And
Okay.
it's just it's almost like a coming of age movie, but it's real like
For your
it's,
No, yeah, yeah,
it's a
that's good.
coming
In
of
his
age movie
40s,
for your
yeah, no,
40s.
it's
Yeah,
terrific.
it's so
terrific.
sick. It's so
and again,
phenomenal.
Alexander Payne, I just haven't been a big fan of because when originally, and I retract my statements from before because originally when I really got into him when Downsizing came out.
Downside.
Because everybody was
Oh, I gotta
talking
see
about
it. I gotta see it.
downsizing and shit.
I
I was
don't
like,
wanna
all right.
watch that film.
We
I don't
screened it, and like Sandra and I, like we were like, that's kind of fucking whack. And then I've watched it again since multiple times,
You've
and
told
it
me that you
really
like
does
it.
have something to say. It's terrific. It's a commentary on people and
Dude.
consumerism and fucking
that ending
like,
in the rain,
yeah,
that whole scene.
yeah.
I feel like it
It's got a lot to say. And then I was like, okay, Alexander Payne, because we also talked about the other Paul Giamatti picture, the one you like, the
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Christmas film.
holdovers.
The
dude.
holdovers.
Oh, yeah.
That's
And
why.
and we're like, I was like, all right, Alexander Payne, I gotta go back, and I started with Sideways. Fuck,
Banger, dude,
it's
banger.
terrific.
Dude, the first
That's
10 minutes,
horrific.
you're like, what
Yeah.
the fuck am I signing up for? This is
Yeah.
like so 2000s.
Where
But
can I
after
catch
like
this?
that, dude,
Yeah, it's
oh, fuck.
phenomenal.
I think I saw it on
Like
Netflix
Amazon
or
Prime or
Hulu?
something like that. I think
Yeah.
it's Prime, maybe.
Nice.
That's terrific. Yeah, go watch Sideways. Sideways, I'd
Dude,
love to
it's
talk
so
about it on
good.
this podcast at some point. It's fucking terrific.
We should cover it.
Wes
I'm down.
Anderson, baby.
Wes
what's
Anderson,
up for
baby.
next month?
Next month, next week,
Let's go!
we're gonna talk
About a real auteur, a real director,
Pop
makes
up.
real cinema.
I'm with you.
We're gonna talk about the great Christopher Nolan. Christopher
Sir.
Nolan is currently
Whoa.
Sir
Yeah,
Christopher
Sir
Nolan. Sir
Christopher
Chris
Nolan.
Nolan.
Sir Christopher Nolan.
Chris Nolan
He is a sir.
is currently in production for Homer's The Odyssey, which is going to be the epic
I
of
love
epics.
The Simpsons.
Not that Homer.
Oh,
Wait, has the Simpsons
Everybody
ever
thought
done
that.
like a take on the Odyssey?
Probably. I know. I remember that joke specifically from a film called Freedom Riders. You guys remember Freedom Riders?
I've heard a couple of
And
those.
she's like trying to talk about Homer's The Odyssey. And he's like, the only Homer I know is Homer Simpson, yo. It's like this gangster kid. And anyways,
No, Jamal,
he's
you be
currently in
tripping.
production for Homer's The Odyssey.
Have you seen the stills?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a huge undertaking cinematically because nobody. It's like somebody trying to touch like Dante's Inferno or
Yeah,
or
how
fucking
would you even
Othello or
go
so,
about it?
like a
Dude,
classic, and or like the Iliad or something.
You're gonna secretly hate it.
I'm not gonna see. I'm gonna be jealous
He's
because
gonna
I always
fucking
thought
love
I'd be one day able to tackle Homer's The Odyssey.
Really?
Because I like it's a literary masterpiece, man. It's one of the oldest pieces of literature that's still revered today. And
I want to touch on the Trojan horse.
the Trojan Horse,
kinda one of my-
it's a big ass.
You
book
could touch
too, man.
my Trojan.
But anyways, he's currently in production for this. This film will be
Only
out
took like
next
3
year.
seconds.
Shooting on IMAX, by the way.
We're shooting on IMAX.
Yeah.
We're gonna be talking about, to kick us off, we're gonna be talking about Memento. A lot of Christopher Nolan's favorite, like fans'
Never seen it.
favorite. Same. I've never seen it.
Yeah, same.
So we're
better
going to
be
talk
impressed.
about Memento. We're going to talk about Inception,
Sheesh.
Oppenheimer, The Prestige.
The Prestige is another one that a lot of people say that
Yeah.
they love from Nolan.
Dude,
And,
Prestige is fucking amazing. That was one of like the first big movies
Yeah.
that I saw growing up.
And it's not a big budget film. That's what's like,
And The
it's good.
Prestige has Paul Giamatti too, right? Speaking of,
No.
Or no.
No.
Right?
Does it?
I'm thinking of The Illusionist.
Yeah, with
it's a magic
Edward,
film.
with Edward Norton.
All right. Next week, Christopher Nolan. Please tune in. Let us know what you think about, or should we be covering other Christopher Nolans? In case you've missed it, we've colored Interstellar, so I know we're going to get a bunch of comments about that.
Yeah.
Go watch the
but
Interstellar episode.
We're gonna be
We've already
doing
talked about it.
just a quick preview. So we're gonna be doing Prestige.
Were you not listening? I literally just listed the fucking films.
Hold on, maybe he has a different thought.
Okay, go on.
We're doing Prestige.
Uh-huh.
We're doing How to Train Your Dragon 2. What else is
Yeah.
directed?
The live version.
Oh, Paul Blart.
Paul
Paul
Blart
Blart,
Mall
Mall
Blart.
Cop.
We're
Both?
still
Yes,
debating
two.
1 or 2.
No,
And
two.
we're
Gravity.
finishing off with Oppenheimer. It's crazy.
There's it's a Criterion Closet.
I
I
love
think
it.
in the last 2 days released.
We're gonna watch
Ryan
it halfway.
Coogler's Criterion picks. So Ryan Coogler's in the Criterion Closet, and he's like, you know, like Chris Nolan, who's my mentor, by the way. He's just like, yeah, just cash. Yeah, we're just like Chris. He tells me this and he tells me that. So
Well,
apparently-
of course that motherfucker shoots on IMAX. Then.
yeah, because it's fucking Nolan.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys for tuning into the WatchTower Film Podcast. Tune in next week. We love you guys. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Love you guys.
Then now, do the theme.
I'm the Wes Anderson.
Sound like any
I've been watching a lot of Andy Kaufman recently.
All right, good night, everybody.
Yeah.